Hello and welcome to Yerushalmi Berachos stuff Ayin Test. I'm going to talk about Yak Nahaz today. Not exactly Halacha L'Maisa, but you'll see a very, very fascinating concept that definitely needs to be explained. Agav, there's a Girsa issue with the word Sukkah here, how the first night of Sukkahs could fall out on Shabbos. You'll see the Charedim actually takes it out. Very interesting discussion over there about what exactly could happen. Anyway, so the Reb Chanina has an opinion that we don't paskin like, which is that we do Nehik. And Nehik is Ner, then Havdalah, Yayin, and Kiddush. And Shmuel says, what's it called? Shmuel has his own opinion. Okay, so then Rav Acha B'Shem Rav Yeshua ben Levi, he explains the following, that the reason that this opinion makes sense is because Melech Yotzei V'Shilta Nichnas, when a king, which refers to Shabbos, it's funny, normally we call it Shabbos Malka, here it's the king, when Shabbos departs, and at the same time the governor is arriving, so Malavanas HaMelech, first you give the biggest honor to the king, who's the main one, and then you bring in the governor. So this seems to be a very compelling reason. So too, first you recite Havdalah to escort the outgoing Shabbos, the king, and then you say Kiddush to greet Yom Tov. Now, let me explain why this isn't such a do-all, end-all shita. So first of all, the Gemara says, and this is a very classic Yerushalmi move, that we follow Levi's opinion, which is Yahank, okay, Yayin, Havdalah, Ner, and Kiddush, which is not how we paskin lahalacha. But anyway, because Mistabra, the Levi, it says Dehu Amar Me'ain Shem, he incorporates all the other opinions. You see, he mixes it around. So you see that it's not really Ma'akev. And also, the Gemara says explicitly that Rav Avo, when he would go to the south, where Chanina was the authority, so he would follow his opinion. And when he would be in Tiberia, which is, of course, where the Yerushalmi was written, with Rav Yochanan, was his jurisdiction, he would follow him. Why? Because Lo Maflagal Bar Nashbas, or he didn't want to fight with someone in his own place. So again, you see, is that halacha l'maisa on every single thing? I'm not sure, but you see that clearly it wasn't so ma'akev. There's another reason that it might not be so ma'akev, and that is even in that parable, which seems to be very, very compelling, and that is because it could be that just the fact that you say Havdalah, you haven't. It might be true that you said Kiddush, which brings in the governor, which sounds a little strange, but really you didn't do Zman, which is Shachianu, which is kind of the real entrance. But so what? Why would that make a difference? So I'll tell you why. Because really, Shabbos and Yom Tov, in this parable, we see that Shabbos is the end-all, be-all, and we know that Shabbos is a higher madrega than Yom Tov because we say Yom Shekula Shabbos Menucha, and there's a lot of discussions about the Kedusha between the two. Rav Hutner is a very famous shtickle, but let's turn to Parshas Emor and just review a very quick vart and a quick kasha. These are my holidays. So we know that many Yom Tovim we lay in all this stuff, but all these psukim, excuse me. So the question is, what's this next pasuk then? Sheish Yom Tasa Malacha V'Mashi Shabbos Shabboson Mikar Kodesh Kol Malacha Lo Sasa Shabbos Hilach Shem B'Chol Moshe. It seems like it talks about Shabbos. So what just happened? You just said you were going to list me off all the Yom Tovim, then you went to explain Shabbos, and then Elam Moadei Hashem Mikra Kodesh, Hagrozah Moadam, B'Chodesh Harishon talks about Pesach, etc., etc. So what's going on? So there's a famous Gra, which is a beautiful pshat. The Gra says that no, it's not talking about Shabbos. It's talking about Yom Tov. Sheish Yom Tasa Malacha. There are 6 days of Yom Tov that are listed off here that you're allowed to do Malachas Ochel Nefesh. So there's a Malacha that's allowed, but there's one that's the same madrega of Shabbos itself, Shabbos Shabboson, which is Yom Kippur, which is the pasuk itself. So that's what it's referring to. It's just giving you a preview about all the days to follow, which is a brilliant shot. But other Mefarshim say that there's something deeper going on as well. Of course, the Gra was aware of this, and that is that Shabbos is Yonik and gives all the nourishment to all the other Yom Tovim. For example, Shabbos, like the Ramban says and like the Psukim say, is Zecher Tziyas Mitzrayim and Zecher Ma'aseh Berachos, and all the Yom Tovim are also basically that. So we see that there's a Unika that comes from them. So it very well could be that this parable, it's not an insult to the king to bring his governor. Now, it's beyond the scope of this conversation to describe why you need both Shabbos and Yom Tov. Right? Yom Tov is Yom Shekula Tov as well, and Yom Tov is also a day of Ar, which is Hashem said it was Tov. So there's a Tov that's there, the Ar that comes in, but Shabbos is Yom Shekula, Shabbos and Menucha. It's a higher madrega. So the point is that it's not an insult to have them in at the same time, and so that could be the logic back that since Shabbos is Yonik, all of them it is the king, and the other ones are the governors. It's not an insult to give it covered because Shabbos is giving the power to it, and that and these other elements are something that sprinkle our calendar and enhance our lives as well. Have a great day.